Well, good morning. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to this kind of brief edition of Get Real with Rick Dancer. There's a tide is turning. Even on the national radio, I'm hearing newscasters who were bludgeoning people for saying we need to open up. And now they're starting to ask the same questions. So obviously they're reading the polling and understanding that people are done, that we're seeing our numbers down, and we're looking around at other states, especially here in Oregon. We're looking to our neighbors and going, hey, people are opening up and it's not that much different. So I think something is changing. I know that yesterday, county commissioners from all over Oregon sent a letter to the governor asking her to reconsider how she's doing this and the extreme level that she put 15 counties in. So now it's your time to get involved. We can all get mad and complain and bitch and groan, but it doesn't do any good unless we actually do something. So I put her number right at the bottom of the screen. You can also go just Google State of Oregon Governor Kate Brown. It'll get you right to her office. I sent a letter. And I don't have time to make a phone call, but I can go on and write a quick letter. Now, the key here is you have to be kind. You can't go on there. I was firm, but you can't be mean. You can't go in there and start calling names and why are you doing it? You need to just go in and state your opinion and leave it that way. But now is the time, and her email is being flooded with people, and so are the phones. So just take a couple minutes out of your day and do this, because our businesses in our community are depending on us. I'm getting emails like you wouldn't believe of people that they just can't hold on with this. And there's no proof that this is coming from restaurants or gyms or any of that. So if you show me the numbers, show me the evidence, the scientific evidence that that's what's happening, and okay, but you don't have any. In fact, I looked online, a guy posted something online this morning and it showed where they were coming from. And in Lane County, it was like 80% were coming from the University of Oregon dorms. And I'm not against kids will be kids, but shut down an entire community when 80% of the cases are coming from the University of Oregon. That's insanity. It doesn't matter if she's listening, Diane. At some point, she's a politician and she's going to understand that she's in deep doo-doo if she doesn't listen to the people. And we have to stop just assuming she's not listening. And the county commissioners, county officials are coming on, and I heard people talk and saying, you know what, we're pushing, and there's other steps we can take if this doesn't work. So it's time to get her in line with what Oregonians are thinking, and you cannot do this to the people, to the small businesses, putting the brunt of this on small businesses like restaurants and gyms when that's not where it's coming from. So I want to play a soundbite. We had Senator Betsy Johnson. She's a Democrat. Had her on the other day. And I want you to talk. She puts this in such great terms. So I want you to hear this. Listen.
Have just had it. That the vicissitudes of one day we're open, one day we're closed. They hire their front and back of the house. Then they got to run them all off again. They don't know how many burger patties to buy. They don't know how much lettuce. People, in my experience, have just had it. They've had it for a lot of reasons. They've been locked in their homes for a year. They don't know what's going on at the national level. The guidance changes all the time. CDC just came out today with the rule that now if you're vaccinated, you can be in groups of people without masks. But we've got OSHA in Oregon saying anywhere you go, you got to wear a mask. They have basically had enough of government doing it to them and not with them.
Government doing it to them and not with them. That is so perfect, because why in the beginning didn't Governor Brown gather together business leaders, hairdressers, restaurateurs, people from the Restaurant Association, chambers of commerce, people like that, and say, we got to come up with a plan? But no, she didn't do that. And now people are suffering for it. So this is the third time we've been through this. And people just they can't. And it's not like these are restaurant people that are thinking COVID isn't real. So don't even do that. If you're somebody out there and you go, oh, well, you guys are promoting bad behavior. Oh, bullshit. What we're promoting is balance, absolute balance in how this is handled. And then we need to go back and look at this executive order bullshit that she has complete control over how this goes. And we can do nothing about it. Because right now, both legislative branches would have to come up with a bill that would change her executive order powers. And then she has to sign it to approve it. Well, that's stupid. And that's not going to work. Betsy Johnson also talked a little bit more about some of this. I want you to hear this other bite from the other day. Hold on just a sec.
I think that the inconsistencies in the reporting has been problematic.
You think?
People don't. Yeah, I'm trying to be kind here. People
Okay.
don't honestly know what are the metrics, what are the actual numbers. The fact that the hospitalizations had gone above 300, I think to 319 or something like that, was one of the metrics, but people don't know what the metrics are. And the reporting based on whatever the interest group is seems to change from activity to activity to know what are the hot spots of transmission.
Okay, so right now I have Stephen Sheehan on here, who owns Elkhorn Brewery. I'm getting so much hate for speaking on the news yesterday. People saying Elkhorn is killing people. Thanks for speaking up for the little restaurants. We love you. Stay strong, my friend, and keep up the good fight. Okay, for those of you, that is such horse shit. It doesn't even hold any water. I don't even give a shit if you say that. I get people calling me up and saying, "Oh, you're killing people, Rick. You're killing people." Horse shit. That's messaging from the state of Oregon that is wrong. And it's like they made it so that you feel like you're big old tough shit. And if you're not doing what they're doing, then you're killing people. That's you falling for the language. It's propaganda. It's pure propaganda. So don't be going to people who are small businesses, especially the people that are doing this. Are you somebody who depends on a restaurant for business? Probably not. So are you working? Are you still getting a paycheck? Probably. And those are the people, and they're coming, Stephen, they're coming after me too, but I'm done. I don't care. It's to a point where I live here too, and I have friends who have restaurants and they're suffering. So I could turn that around to the people who are saying to Stephen and others, like, you're trying to kill people by opening up. I could turn around and say, you're trying to kill people by destroying their businesses. Yeah. And you're destroying the lives of people, their families, their kids. And maybe they're not dead, but it's still destruction. So you're no better than what you are saying that we are. And we're not killing people. It's a virus. Viruses do these things. And oh God, it infuriates me, because what it is just bullying. You're bullying Stephen and other people who need to they need to work, and they're putting other people to work. So now you're taking those people, but you're so it's your fear and you're putting it on us. Well, we're not taking it anymore. I'm not taking your fear. I'm just not going to do it. And so what I encourage everyone to do is be very kind. Be kind and firm, and call the governor's office, 503-378-4582. Somebody already said they got a busy signal. What I would do is I just went on their page, and it says you can send an email to the governor. She's not going to write you back, but you put your email in there so they have a bunch of them in there, because she has people watching this, and she knows that the tide is turning, that people are done. And she's going to keep pushing. This is just like a kid going to push until we turn and resist and say, we're not doing it anymore. So she's seeing how much power she has, and the counties are turning away and saying, hey, you got to redo this. You got to look at this up. What's the goal? There's no goalpost. We don't even know what we need to do better, because it keeps changing. As Betsy said, it's inconsistent, and you can't go out there and ask people to do this. I got pages that just go after me and scream at me. And Stephen, and I'm sorry that's happening to you. And I know other restaurants are afraid. You know how many restaurant owners come up to me and go, thank you for saying something? Because we can't. Because if they come on here now, you'll all try to boycott Stephen's restaurant because he doesn't think like you do. That's horseshit too. You don't get to pick on people. If you don't want to go there, just don't go there. But don't badmouth them just because he disagrees with you. See, this isn't Oregon. This isn't how Oregon is. I don't know where this whole attitude came from, but we used to be a state where people respected one another, and you could fight it out in the public arena, but you didn't tear people apart and belittle them. That isn't even fair. So anyway, I'm going to go down here. We have questions. Yeah, exactly. We have questions, and we are the people of Oregon, and we deserve to have answers. And that's all we're asking for. We have put up with this for a year, more than a year of trying to, do the right thing. And the other thing is that I want to address here too, real fast, is I hear people all the time saying, well, if people would just do the right thing, then we get this over with. No, this is not a bunch of people not doing the right thing. It's a virus. It's going to do what it's going to do. And to me, when I hear people say that, or I hear a government say that, it's trying to get you into submission and control. And it's like, you know what? It's got to run its course. Isn't that what the science says? It's got to get 80% through 80%. We've already got what I think Lane County has half the people, adults, are vaccinated now. So people are moving that direction and doing their thing. But the other thing is, the bottom line is, what I do and how I do it, it's none of your damn business. It has nothing to do with you. You don't get to tell me how to do things. I don't tell you. This is what I find interesting too, is some of you feel like you have the right to belittle me when I don't turn around and belittle you. And because I disagree with you, really, that's how it works. So if I disagree with you, then I suck. Well, that is so shallow. It's pretty ignorant, and it's pretty uneducated. What's the email? You're going to have to go find it yourself. I did it. It's right on the form. Just Google Governor Kate Brown office, and then it'll pop up and it says contact us, and it just has you fill out your name and phone number and all that stuff, which I did. I don't care. They can know where I am. They know where I am anyway. Good Lord. Nope, we aren't taking it. And for those people who want to say, you guys are the reason this is happening, doesn't hold any water either. We don't know why it's all happening. Derek Lewin, because the counties are listening to the people, finally. I think it's been a long road coming, but I think people are finally fed up with all of this. And, so anyway, my point is here, we're going to talk to Jay Bosevich tonight, 5:00. We had a different show planned, but we're going to talk with him tonight, find out what this is all about. So you'll have some firm information, not just me spouting. I'm informed. I know what I'm talking about, but he's going to really come in and put some legs on it, kind of tell you the formal aspects of what it is. So what can we do in the meantime? Number one, don't get sucked into a conversation with people who want, like what they're doing to Stephen. Now you see Stephen's under attack because he went on the news. So go have lunch at Elkhorn today. Go order lunch and help Stephen out, because he's going to get bombarded by people. And then make your phone call, write your letter, and you have to do it. And then you just stay on it, and you keep talking about it, and you don't stop. And you keep doing it until, and you know what I would do, Jason, only this is my, I put Jason's comment up here. Here's something, and Jason and I are friends, so this isn't, but we have to stop calling each other names like that, I think. It doesn't get anywhere. It's just, you're doing the same thing they do. When they call me a boomer, I've been called a boomer by all of them. So they try to discount me because of my age, when in most cultures, people who are old are considered sages and have information, and you don't have to consider me a sage. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't discount me because of my age, and I won't discount you because of yours. And why can't we put up a sign that says enter at your own risk and open up completely? I guess you can do that at your own risk too. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go down here and see if there's, no, she wants to collapse Oregon and is exceeding. So here's my thought on that. I don't know what her motivations are, and I don't care. I care about my neighbors and my fellow people in this community, and we got to fight for them. And that means sometimes doing hard stuff. And that means people will yell at you. and people will hate you. Isaiah, yeah, she's gone in 2022. And I am campaigning for Betsy Johnson, a Democratic senator in Oregon, to be our next governor, whether she wants to or not. You know what we need in this state? We need to stop this partisanship. And people say that, and I know it sounds really stupid, but I'm just done. I mean, it's just destroying Oregon. Issues you should be paying attention to very closely. One is redistricting. That's coming up. And we have some partisan people, like our partisan Secretary of State, who wants to draw the lines the way it's been done in the past, which is unfair, which is why we have a supermajority right now. We need to draw those lines fairly, because my neighborhood is now connected to South Eugene and the University of Oregon. So what happens? All the rural parts of Crestwell, Cottage Grove, all of us, our votes are discounted because you've got the University of Oregon and South Eugene. And it's nothing against University of Oregon and South Eugene, but they're taking our vote. They took away our votes. In Portland, there's 18 fingers that go from rural areas into Portland. Why? To water down those numbers so that the people in the rural places that are voting more conservative don't have a voice. Here's my thing on that. I don't give a shit if you're conservative or Republican, conservative or liberal, but let's have a fair fight. I don't like to cheat and win. I think what we should do is have a closer race, and then see who has the best ideas, and then let the best ideas win, not because you twisted and turned things the way you wanted it to be. Betsy would be great. Yes. Fight. Love Betsy. And I could get behind Betsy if she governs the way she represents her district. She's awesome. Stand up and stay open. No more partisan crap. Oh, that's how they do it. So here's the deal. I'm going to get off here because we're going to come back tonight. It's BLM, Small Business Lives Matter. Oh, Nick, that's great. SBLM, Small Business Lives Matter. So again, you guys share this on your page. I want to thank Elements Health Club, one of our clients who's sponsoring this and the show tonight to get the word out, because obviously this greatly affects their business, like any other gym or restaurant in town. So this is how you do it. And maybe we've been apathetic for so long that we're having the opportunity to get involved. So like we said, Steven's, getting some shit from the bullies. So go in and show him some love for lunch today. And then we, let's just see it. We'll play it as it goes. Yeah, you go, young man. It does crack me up. I have never seen more comments of people like Boomer and me, because they don't like what I believe and they disagree with me, and they're scared. Quite honestly, that's what it is. They're scared because I'm not afraid of them, and I'm not going to shut up. And you know what? I could be wrong, but I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to be part of the conversation, and I think you should be too. So don't let people silence you. When I was a kid, I always got silenced. No more. That's what they're working against. The problem they're working against is that's my point of no return. I lived as a kid that way, and I am not going back. So there's a lot of other things I can back down on, but when it comes to silencing me, screw you. We, the people of Oregon, are becoming divided. I'm a restaurant owner halfway. This is so hard. Thank you, Rick, for your voice. Brenda, which restaurant do you open? Halfway is one of my favorite Oregon towns ever, and you know that. And you guys, we need to really get more of a voice for rural Oregon. But you are Rick Dancer. I am. And I went on a page this morning, and they were talking about what an asshole, or they were talking how awful I was, and what a douchebag is what I always get called. And I went in and I just said, oh God, I know. Yeah, you're right. He's an asshole. I live with him all day. I can't stand the guy. That always gets them, because then what do you do when somebody's picking it? Oh, you own Wild Bill's? I've been there. So you guys, this is not just Eugene, Springfield, Salem, Portland. This is impacting. How would it feel to be halfway Oregon, where you got nothing going on, nobody's sick, nothing's happening, and and then they shut you down because of what's going on in Baker City or something like that. That would be so frustrating. Or to live in Cresswell and have your businesses shut down when most of the activity of this alleged COVID stuff that's going on, so out of control, is in Eugene. My grandmother's family is from halfway. Maybe a road trip to support is needed. Hey, you could write it off, Corey. Write it off as a road of support. I love your enthusiasm, Carrie, about communities. Rick, flush down the brown. I'm not anti-brown. I'm anti power trip, anti-control. You don't get to do that. And Oregon would never have put up with this in the past. And I don't think we should be putting up with it now. The scary thing about this is I'm reading what's going on in India and seeing the variants that are out there that look much more dangerous. If and when those things get here in a big way, they've already cried wolf on this thing. And now people are going to be, I'm afraid we won't take it seriously when it's really, really, really bad. And I'm going to look at them. They can try to blame us, but I'm going to look at you did this. Here's Mike Clark. 73% of current Lane County cases live in the U of O dorms. Yep. Extreme risk countywide isn't warranted. And that's Eugene City Councilor Mike Clark. Yeah, those are close to the numbers I read. So you shut down all the businesses in town because this is, and we don't know how that testing is done. And are those people sick? Or are those just people that are getting tested all the time because they're athletes? We don't know because they don't tell us. And that's what Cedric Hayden, one of our representatives, was asking the committee on COVID about the goalposts, and they didn't know. They didn't know what it was. You'll hear that tonight from Jay. I heard it on the radio this morning. Okay, so you left a comment, Judy. Good. Has anyone seen or been provided with verifiable ICU patient beds metrics in those 15 counties? No, but I can tell you, I called Peace Health the other day and they had 5 people in intensive care and they had 15 or 14 in beds, but they have, according to people I know that work at the hospital, they have plenty more room. I asked someone at McKinsey Willamette to find out, and they don't, this person doesn't think they have anybody, but the hospital wouldn't talk about it. Why? Hey, Rick, I have to say I'm pretty much sick of her persistent fear mongering. Yeah. And that's statewide. Perhaps the state should use some of this money it's using to make everybody afraid and start telling people about good health, about how to eat and stay healthy, because the people that are dying for the most part are people that have underlying conditions and unhealthy. Talk about vitamin D. By Oregon population, 0.06% total deaths to date. Hospitalization right now. Thanks for the stats, Mike. Yep, I've said this for a year now. Real emergency comes up. Yeah, see, Corey, that's the problem. Is now you've cried wolf, and for too long. And now if these variants prove to be what they're doing in India, you're gonna have a hell of a time getting people back on board. And that's your fault. You get to take the hit for that. Does not create power. The Constitution was created for the time to grave emergency, and no emergency gives Kate the power that she thinks she has over Oregon. Well, the problem is it's the executive power that was given to her by the legislature when Betsy was in the legislature. She said this happened. And the problem is it was meant for an emergency like an earthquake or, a volcano or something like that. Nobody dreamed there'd be a pandemic. And Brown's taken this and used it to her advantage, which I don't understand what the advantage is. Why except to get federal money, I guess, to cinch up her budget that was failing before. I don't understand why you would do that. But here's the difficulty. To change that, both branches of the legislature have to come up with a new law, and she has to sign it. That needs to change. How many of the positives have had both vaccines? Yeah, I have no idea. You guys, you have a ton of questions on here, but I have an interview to do today at 1:15, but we will be back tonight thanks to Elements Health Club, Lane County. And we'll be doing a show with Jay Bosovich. You'll have much more information. You can come on and ask him questions here like you're doing here. And then we're in this together, guys. I know we keep hearing that. They're using COVID to push their goals through. Exactly, Isaiah. They're using the COVID to push their goals through. Shame on you. And then they're turning people against each other because they're making it so that everybody's like a cop, a mass cop, and judging how people are doing their mask or abiding by the rules. And I just think, go mind your own damn business. You know what I mean? What I do is none of your fucking business. Has nothing to do with you. And so I don't get my nose in your business. So keep your nose out of mine. Ask her for delegation of authority. She doesn't have one. Well, it's turning on her, and I think she knows that. So anyway, the phone number's right there, 503-378-4582, or you can email her. We'll be back tonight at 5 o'clock. Share this on your page, because this is the kind of stuff I've had Facebook taking some of my posts down, and it's interesting. And so take this, share it on your page, and I never dreamed I'd live to see times like this. Have you? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I thank you for all you guys. And I even thank you for the people that hate me. Because then yes, those people who just can't resist not saying you hate me or calling me a douchebag or a boomer, you bring balance to my life. So yes, you're an asshole, but God is using you to balance Rick Dancer. You're being used.